What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Drunk Turkey Show. We got a little bit of breaking news. So, released by the docket was some more court documents referencing the Kohberger case, 80 plus pages of redacted warrants, more on Twitter, Google, such and such. We're going to go through those pieces of documents tomorrow in our live. So make sure you subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Make sure you ring that notification bell. That way you're notified of our content and when we go live. But also a part of that was a piece of paperwork talking about Brady. That's a big word. That's a big case. Brady rule. That means that there could be some evidence that might indicate that Kohberger is actually innocent in this case. Let's get into the documents. So let's look at it. So this is from the District Court of the Second Judicial District, State of Idaho, of the State of Idaho. I'm sorry, and then for the County of Latah. The State of Idaho plaintiff versus Bryan Christopher Kohberger comes now the State of Idaho by and through the Latah County Prosecuting Office, Attorney's Office, and respectfully gives notice to court and counsel that state that has become aware of potential Brady and Giglio material related to one of the officers involved in the above referenced case. That material in the form of a confidential internal affairs investigation is hereby submitted in camera to the court. The state intends to disclose this information to defendant's counsel, but because this information is confidential and exempt from the public disclosure pursuant to Idaho Code 74-106-1 personnel records, the state respectfully pays the issuance of a protective order pursuant to the Idaho Criminal Rule 16.1, prohibiting defense counsel from disseminating the information contained in the internal affairs investigation absent further of order to the court, respectfully submitted on this 24th day of March 2023. And so let's look at this document as it pertains. So somebody here did something they weren't supposed to. Now, Brady means, from my understanding of it, is when the prosecution has evidence that would prove innocence against a defendant and they don't hand that over. Giglio is a little bit more of a difference. And so in that case, from what I understand, is there was a witness that went against Giglio, and it was a confidential informant. There's another big confidential informant word. And apparently that witness wasn't as credible as possible. Now, when you put these two together and the way they put this together, material related to one of the officers involved in the above case, I believe what they're trying to say is that perhaps maybe an officer did something impractical or illegal, planted evidence, maybe something that not only maybe compromised or maybe hid something like that, proved that Kohberger was innocent, and thus, questioning his credibility, and that's why you would put two together. But let's look at, what both of these are. And so, what is Brady Giglio? Giglio or Brady is a list or a list complied, usually of prosecutor's office or police departments, containing of the names and details of law enforcement officers who have or had sustained incidents of untruthfulness, criminal convictions, candor issues, or other some type of placing their credibility into question. So basically what I just said, that perhaps maybe the officer did something that questioned their credibility. I think there was a question in one of the officers was hunting down a wolf, I believe, and I think he was reported for that. Whether or not that's legal or not in that state, however, if it was illegal in that state and he was hunting down a wolf, then and he was conducting an illegal activity, and he was a major component of this investigation, that can hinder the investigation based on that officer's activity. We'll put that out there, and that could be a reason why that this is there. Let's see. Let's understand Brady and Giglio. Civilian oversight role. In Brady versus Maryland, the United States Supreme Court held prosecutors must provide explanatory information to defense counsel, and in Giglio versus the United States, it extended the holding to include information suggesting a witness may not be credible. And so, like I said, there's a couple of ways we can look at this, but another confidential informant reference, I do want to bring that up in this situation. Many law enforcement agencies and district attorneys' offices have created Brady list of officers who His disciplinary or testimonial history must be disclosed if they are called to testify, but some lists and some protocols may have been criticized and as inadequate. This presentation will set forth the legal standards for what prosecutors must disclose about officers' histories under Brady and Gilgo, and what roles civilian oversight professionals can play in improving police disclosure procedures and ensuring that the defendants get information which they are entitled. And so, basically they're supposed to give off that information. Now let's look at Gilgo versus the United States. John Gilgo was convicted of passing forged money orders while his appeal to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit was pending. Gilgo's counsel discovered new evidence. This evidence indicated that the prosecution failed to disclose that it promised a key witness immunity from prosecution in exchange for testimony against Gilgo. The district court denied Gilgo's motion for a new trial, finding that the error did not affect the verdict. Court's appeal affirmed. In this prosecution's failure to disclose a promise of immunity made a key witness grounds for a new trial. Conclusion. Yes, Chief Justice Warren E. Burger, writing in a unanimous court, reversed the conviction and remanded that the case for a new trial. The Supreme Court held that the evidence of the agreement was relevant to the witness credibility because of the new evidence affected the witness's credibility, and the prosecution's case rested mostly entirely on the witness's testimony. The original trial violated due process and entitled Gilgo a new trial. And so basically, in this case, they used a witness, but they didn't disclose that they gave him immunity. And so, in my opinion, when you look at both of them, I still think that it's perhaps maybe the actions of an officer that got him put on IA, on internal affairs investigation, because it says here that states become aware of a potential Brady Gilgo material related to one of the officers in the above referenced case. This material in the form of a confidential internal affairs investigation. And so the material that they found was that he's a part of an internal affairs investigation. Now, what caused that internal affairs investigation is it's up for debate. Like, for instance, if he was lying about something else in a different case, or was found to have been lying, or not being truthful, or was found of perjury in a different case, then all of his cases will become in question because of the fact that he's no longer considered to be honest. And so that's where I'm thinking that this is going. But there does come the question, another confidential informant. Now let's read forward on what this says. I hereby certify true and correct copy of foregoing notice of Brady disclosure and request for protective order. Nothing there. All right, so this is this says here, and this matter came before the court on March 14, 2023. The state's motion to temporarily seal the stipulation to release property and release documents pending hearing pursuant to ICAR 32. The hearing was held in Zoom. Let's just see if there's anything of importance. Let me see. Right trial. Yeah, this stuff we've seen. All right. Yeah, hereby order all items and property and evidence of 1122 King Road, Moscow, Idaho, currently in possession of the party, state evidence, property attached Exhibit A, defense evidence, property attached Exhibit B, shall remain in their respective custody and control until further agreement to the parties' order of court, except for the following items, which the parties stipulate can be released. Remaining personal property of Madison Mogen, Xana Kernodle, Ethan Chapin, and Kaylee Goncalves. BF and DM, obviously Bethany and Dylan. And I think that there's only one other piece of document that is of relevance. And it's this one. It's right here. It says this, the above matter having come to before the pursuant court to the state's notice of Brady disclosure and request for protective order, the court having reviewed the same and good cause appearing, it is hereby ordered the state shall disclose the documents appended under seal the state of notice of Brady disclosure request for protective order filed on March 27, 2023 pursuant to ICR. Further order, the except provided in further going paragraph, the parties and counsel shall not disclose the documents or the counsel that therefore authorized by the court. 3/27/23. So that was yesterday and signed off. So basically what they said was that the court agreed to and basically is ordering the prosecution to hand over that documents of that internal affairs investigation on the officer. I mean, this could be a big thing, guys. It really could. And it could equal out to a technicality. It could equal out to somebody planning evidence. It could equal out to somebody, framing Kohberger. That's been something that's been out there quite a bit. A lot of questions, more questions than answers. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Where do you guys think that this is? Do you think that there's a confidential informant? Do you think somebody planted evidence? Do you think that there's an officer that perhaps did something improper or illegal outside of this case or the scope of this case that landed him on an internal affairs investigation, which is questioning his credibility on all his cases, including this one? Let me know in the comment section which one you think it is. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. With that being said, we'll see you guys tomorrow night on our live. We'll be discussing this and all the other pages on here and what it is that they're looking for in the search warrants. Peace.